Have you ever had the feeling that you carry a very intense energy within you, as if your soul was linked to something much older than this life? What if I told you that this isn't just a feeling, it's a calling? Scorpio is not just a zodiac sign, it's an ancestral seal, a spiritual pact sealed in forgotten ages which connected this soul to one of the most dangerous and transformative forces in the universe. It's no coincidence that Scorpio is known for its depth, mystery, and hidden power. According to Zodiac Cayce, the prophet of the invisible, those born under this sign carry a mission that goes far beyond common understanding. They are channelers of the energy that destroys in order to rebuild. But the truth is even darker. There is a silent alliance made long before you were born that binds you to this force. Have you ever noticed how your life seems to be made up of rebirths, profound losses, and brutal revelations? This doesn't happen by chance. Scorpio was chosen to move between worlds, the visible and the invisible, pain and awakening, symbolic death and spiritual rebirth. And this ancient pact, although hidden, shapes every step you take, even when you don't realize it. If you feel like you live in constant intensity, that you carry a weight that others don't understand, perhaps this video didn't come to you by chance. Maybe it's time to remember what was forgotten. Because the truth, Scorpio, is that your soul is trapped in something that many cannot even bear to face. But what exactly is this energy? And why did she choose you? Comment here now. Have you ever felt that your life is marked by trials that no one around you understands? That there is something guiding you along paths of pain and revelation, as if an invisible force was shaping you toward something greater? If this message reached you, it is no coincidence, and your response could be the confirmation that many here also need to read. When you comment, you don't just share your truth, you awaken other souls who carry the same energy. This content is not just another video about signs. It is a spiritual key, a portal of remembrance. And for this message to reach more Scorpios, or those who have been touched by this transformative force, we need your help now. Leave a like, because it shows the digital universe that this truth needs to be spread. Subscribe to the channel, because this journey is just beginning, and the next revelations will touch even deeper levels of your consciousness. Scorpio's ancestral pact can no longer remain hidden, and the more people know what it really means to carry this energy, the more souls will be able to find meaning in their own shadows. You are not alone, and this channel is your spiritual refuge, your mystical mirror. Like, comment, and subscribe, because what we reveal next could change the way you see your entire existence. Scorpio, those born under this sign carry more than characteristics. It carries an invisible heritage, a spiritual mark that was sealed long before you incarnated in this life. You are not here to have an ordinary life. You were not sent into the world just to exist. There is a greater force driving you, even when you don't understand it. An internal impulse that makes you dive deep, that takes you away from the surface, that forces you to face truths that others avoid. And why? Because you are a transmuter, an alchemist of the soul. Those born in Scorpio didn't just come to live, but to transform the pain of the world. Since the beginning of time, Scorpio has carried the seal of rebirth, a prophecy that few know, but that acts silently in each incarnation. You feel it, even without knowing how to explain it. You know that existential void that accompanies you from an early age, that feeling of not belonging, those moments when everything seems to fall apart around you, as if the universe is ripping away from you everything that is shallow, everything that is a lie. None of this is by chance. It is the process of death and rebirth acting on you. The pact that was made requires this constant breaking, because each rebirth of yours activates a collective spiritual expansion, and that's the price. Your pain is not yours alone. Your pain is a bridge. Your pain is key. Your pain is the way. Have you ever noticed how Scorpio people seem to attract extreme events? Everything with you is intense. When you love until the end. When he suffers, he plunges into the abyss. When it awakens, it becomes another soul. This is not weakness. This is the hidden call of transformation. While many run away from pain, you immerse yourself in it, not because he wants to, but because something inside you knows. True light only comes after darkness. Scorpio is not just the sign of emotional intensity, it is the sign of spiritual initiation. Every difficult experience you've had, that betrayal that shattered your world, that grief that changed you forever, that moment when you had to and rebuilding yourself from nothing, all of that was part of the process. Not because you deserved to suffer, but because you carry a different mission. You are called to be reborn, to show others that it is possible to survive your own shadows. You are living proof that pain is not punishment, it is transformation. But I know, there are days when this mission takes a toll, where it seems unfair to have to be strong all the time, where no one understands the depth of what you feel. It is on these days that the Ancestral Pact vibrates stronger, because Scorpio is the guardian of a portal that connects the visible world to the invisible. You have a rare sensitivity. You perceive lies without anyone having to speak. You feel when someone is bad, even with a smile on their face. You know when something is about to happen, before it even happens. This is called spiritual perception, and it is a gift, but also a burden. Not everyone has the structure to feel so much, but you were prepared. Every pain you experienced trained you. Each fall gave you new power. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, planet of symbolic death, regeneration, hidden truth. But that's not all. There is a forgotten layer, revealed by prophets like Zodiac Cayce. He said that Scorpio was the sign closest to threshold souls, those who live between worlds, who do not fully belong to matter, but who are not ready to leave either. They are spirits on a mission, sent to drive profound changes in the human psyche. And that's why they suffer so much, because they are a bridge, and bridges never rest. Do you feel that your pain is greater than that of others? That you don't have the right to a normal life? Maybe you're right, because your soul did not come to live the ordinary. He came to provoke collective healing based on his personal journey. When you face a loss, when you rise from rock bottom, when you forgive even though you feel hate, you are clearing standards from the collective. Scorpio does this, even without knowing, even unintentionally. That's why so many Scorpios are intense, deep, mysterious. They hold traumas that they never share. They love with so much dedication that it hurts. They need silence, solitude, darkness to process what they feel. They are like sacred caves, dark on the outside but full of hidden treasures. Only those who have courage enter. Only those who have faced their own shadow understand. And perhaps that is your greatest power. You know pain, but you are not dominated by it. You walk with it. You transform her. You carry scars like someone who carries spiritual medals. Every fall, every failure, every dark night of the soul was a rite of passage, and you passed, and you survived. And now, you're ready for the next level. But be careful. This energy does not forgive distractions. The pact requires presence. If you run away from yourself, if you try to live like others, if you repress your nature, the path becomes dark. Because Scorpio energy needs truth. It needs depth, need delivery. You were not made to live half-heartedly. It was not made to hide in shallow relationships, soulless jobs, superficial friendships. It makes you sick, because your spirit recognizes what is false, and he doesn't tolerate it. Are you feeling this calling? That vibration that seems to speak directly to you? If you are, it's because your soul recognizes those words. Because on some level, you always knew there was something more. That your pain had a meaning. That his journey was initiatory. And now that you've heard this, there's no going back. Have you ever felt as if your life has been marked by phases of death and rebirth? Have you ever experienced something so painful that it forced you to completely change who you were? Have you ever felt betrayed, abandoned, rejected, and yet you were reborn with more strength, more clarity, more faith? So write in the comments now, I am rebirth. Leave that sentence, not just as a comment, but as a spiritual seal, a sign that you are awake, that he is accepting the mission he chose long before he was born. And if you felt that this message really spoke to you, then like this video, not by the algorithm, but because when you like it, you send a confirmation to the universe. I recognize this energy, and this recognition attracts more truth into your life. And if you haven't signed up yet, do so now, because this series will reveal things that have been hidden for centuries. And if you've made it this far, it's because you're ready. Write in the comments, I am rebirth. Or, if you want to go further, I accept my ancestral mission. Let's see how many Scorpios, or souls linked to this energy, are ready to rise up, because the next revelation will be even deeper. Are you ready to know what it really means to be born under the sign of Scorpio? Because from here on, there is no turning back. What I am going to reveal to you now may awaken memories that have been dormant in your soul for a long time, all the time. According to Zodiac Cayce, the greatest mystical prophet of the last century, Scorpio is not just a sign of transformation, it is the guardian of the border between worlds. He was saddled with the most dangerous mission of all, navigating between death and regeneration, the visible and the invisible, the body and the spirit, the fall and the ascension. This energy was not given by chance. It was inherited by a specific lineage of souls. And if you feel, even without knowing why, that you have always carried something heavy but sacred, perhaps it is because you are part of it. This ancestral pact was not born in this life. It is older than language itself, deeper than any rational explanation can reach. The Scorpio soul was forged in the fire of destruction and shaped by the water of healing. Imagine a spiritual furnace where everything that is not true is burned. Imagine, soon after, a dark, silent river that purifies everything that survived the flames. This is the essence of Scorpio. He doesn't just feel, he transmutes. He doesn't just suffer, he rebuilds. And this reconstruction is not just personal, it echoes on invisible planes, affecting everyone who crosses its path. Scorpio is a sign of portals. Where he is, portals open. Farewell portals, farewell to old versions, to broken identities, to relationships that no longer sustain the soul, but also portals of return. Return to oneself, to the essence, to the true purpose of the soul. Have you ever felt like you needed to die multiple times to finally become who you are? As if, with each new pain, something is ripped away, not to destroy you, but to reveal you? That's the pact. This is the journey of those who have been touched by this energy. And there is a detail that few understand. The pact is not something imposed. He was accepted. On higher planes, in dimensions where the ego does not command, the Scorpio soul said, yes. He said, I accept to be the channel. He said, I accept remembering what others forget. He said, I accept diving where no one else wants to go, to bring to light what needs to be transformed. But when that soul incarnates, it forgets. And that's why the life of those born in Scorpio is full of ruptures. These are the reminders, the evidence, agreements being activated, and every pain you went through, every loss, every betrayal, every rebirth, was the invisible response of the universe, reminding you, you accepted. That's why Zodiac Cayce said that Scorpio souls are the most prepared to cross between dimensions. They are those who, even without formal training, access symbols in dreams, perceive presences in silence, translate feelings that others cannot even name. This connection with the invisible is ancient and often scary because it activates in you memories of past lives, unhealed scars, uncompleted pacts. But it also activates gifts that were sealed because the pact is not just pain, it is also power, healing power, power of vision, power to guide others along the same path you survived. And this is important. You survived. You've come this far, even without knowing why it was so intense. Even though I'm afraid of my own depth, even though he sabotaged himself, fled, remained silent. But still, here you are. And this already proves that the pact is still alive. You have not been forgotten. On the contrary, you are being called to remember. And now that you're hearing this message, a part of you begins to resonate. Maybe you have goosebumps right now. Maybe your breathing has changed. Maybe your eyes are teary. This is spiritual recognition. This is your body reacting to what your soul already knows. Do you now understand why superficial relationships never work for you? Why do you see people's intentions before they even reveal them? Why do you feel the need to be alone for long periods, as if you need to isolate yourself to rebuild yourself? It's not fragility. It is a spiritual mechanism. Scorpio needs to step away to recover. He needs silence to hear what the world ignores. He needs the shadow to discover where the true light is. And when he comes back, when he returns to the surface, he is no longer the same. And there is a detail that almost no one talks about. Scorpio carries the shaman archetype, he who dies symbolically to heal others, what walks between the worlds, bringing invisible medicines. That's why you attract hurting people who open up to you without understanding why, people who feel like you understand what they themselves can't say. This is not random. This is spiritual function activation. You are a mirror, You are a catalyst, and at the same time, you need protection, because not every weight that comes to you is yours. And this is where the pact reveals itself most profoundly. It doesn't ask you to carry everything. He only asks you to remember your role and honor your sensitivity as power. Now breathe, feel what it causes you, because this is your moment to recognize the truth that inhabits you. This pact you carry has layers that you will discover throughout your life, layers that reveal themselves in falls, in encounters, in the deepest pains, and in the understandings that emerge after them. And the best part? When you accept this pact, everything changes, not because the pain disappears, but because it gains meaning. And meaning brings peace. Sense brings direction. Meaning transforms suffering into mission. And now, if you've come this far, listen to me with your heart. If something in you was touched by these words, if this truth vibrated inside, then write in the comments now, I carry the pact. Write with intention, like someone who seals a new cycle, as if telling the universe, I know who I am. Also write, if you have ever gone through phases in which everything seemed to end, and yet something stronger within you kept you going. Share your experience. This space here is not just a video. It is a virtual spiritual temple, and every comment lights a flame. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so now, but not as a formality, but as a gesture of belonging. Here, you will find more than videos. You will find memories that your soul has been waiting for a long time. Like this video, to seal this message with the universe. And if you want to make something even more powerful, comment on the phrase, I am the guardian, between worlds, because that's what you are. And what comes next will reveal even more. Silence, intuition, a look that goes through more than faces, goes through stories, goes through masks, goes through the parts that most people try to hide. Scorpio doesn't talk, reveals. It's not imposing, but it's annoying, because the presence of a Scorpio awakens what many have spent their lives trying to bury. He doesn't need to say anything. His field says it all. He's a marked soul, a presence, that carries layers that no one understands at first glance. And that has a reason. These invisible marks that you feel, that you sometimes try to hide, are part of the spiritual pact that you have carried since before birth. The Scorpio soul is an old soul, tattooed by intense and often painful experiences. Every wound you carried, every moment you were misunderstood, rejected, betrayed, all of this left traces in your energy field, but not as cracks, but as codes, survival codes, codes of conscience, codes that only those who have been through fire can carry, because you are not fragile, you are forged, and every pain that tried to break you initiated you into a deeper level of your own truth. Life never gave you easy rest, and this is not punishment, it is preparation. There is a layer of the Scorpio soul that only activates after the collapse. It's when everything comes crashing down that his true power appears. It is at rock bottom that your soul begins to operate. While others crumble, you remain silent. While others despair, you enter. Go inside yourself, go into the shadows, go where no one dares to look. And it is there, in that spiritual abyss, that you access gifts that cannot be taught, that cannot be bought, that cannot be explained. Gifts that come from directly facing darkness. The gift of sharp, almost painful intuition. The gift of feeling when something is wrong, even without any evidence. The gift of looking into someone's eyes and realizing what's behind the smile. The gift of dreaming with symbols, sensing goodbyes, capturing energies that others don't even notice. These gifts are not magical, they are spiritual, and they were carved into your soul over several lifetimes. You've been through more than you know. You have been broken in other lives. He's already lost everything. You have fallen and rebuilt yourself so many times that today your soul has a strength that scares even you. But this strength is not expressed in screams. She expresses herself with presence, with magnetism. Scorpio is a sign that magnetizes. Attract what needs to transform. Attract what needs healing. And often, that hurts, because you attract the wounded. It attracts confusion. It attracts people who approach you wanting your depth, but who then run away when they realize you see too much. How many times have you felt used? How many times have you opened your world and then regretted it? How many times have you remained silent so as not to destroy what you already knew with the truth? This silent pain is also a mark, a spiritual seal. Every true Scorpio has been betrayed, and not just by people, but by life. You trust, you surrender, you throw yourself in, and then you are broken. But few understand that this break is alchemical, that this wound, when accepted, turns into vision. You don't become bitter, you become wiser. You don't close yourself off out of fear, you shield yourself out of survival. And even so, your soul never stops loving, because you love intensely. Even after everything, you love with presence, love with soul. He loves with his body, with his gaze, with his surrender. But he loves knowing he could lose, love knowing it can hurt, and yet he loves. This is spiritual courage. This is fidelity to the mission. You were not programmed for easy. You have been activated to the essentials, and the essential, almost always, hurts, but it also frees. And here is one of the greatest truths of the Scorpio soul. Your wound is your channel. The deeper you feel, the deeper you heal. Your pain is a map. It is through this that you understand others. It's because of her that you see what no one wants to see. That's why your silence carries so much weight. When you are silent, the world listens. When you disappear, your absence teaches. Because you're not here to distract, you're here to transform. And transformation hurts. Transmuting requires confrontation. And you confront. Confront the system. Confront those who live in lies. Confront your own shadow. And that gives you spiritual authority. Authority is not power over another. It's true about yourself. You don't need to prove anything. Your presence already reveals it. Your field is already uncomfortable. And this is a sign of activation. When you arrive at a place and the climate changes, don't doubt it. Your soul is cleaning the environment. You carry codes that rearrange the invisible, just by being present. Do you feel this? That your body is, not just flesh? That your existence is not just routine? That there's something about you that always seems to know what's next? This is Scorpio awareness. You're not going crazy. You are remembering. Remembering who you are. Remembering what you promised. Remembering how your soul operated before oblivion. And every experience that marked you, every pain that still pulses, every memory that insists on coming back, is part of the activation process. You carry spiritual marks, invisible scars, that only those who have gone through similar fields can recognize. Maybe that's why you feel alone, but it isn't. There are others like you, other marked souls, who also walk in silence, who also feel too much, who are also tired of pretending. And right now, many of them are hearing those same words and feeling the same vibration. Because this video is not content, it's a portal. And whoever got here is crossing it together. If all of this is resonating with you, breathe, allow. Don't try to understand with your mind. Sit with your body. Because the language of the soul is not logic, it is vibration. And your soul is saying, I recognize, I remember, I carry this with me. And if you felt this, help me transform this space into a temple of spiritual memories. Write here in the comments, my scars are sacred. Or if you prefer, I carry invisible marks. Share something you felt in this video. It could be a memory, a phrase that touched you, a confirmation. Your every comment is a mirror to another Scorpio soul who may be waiting for a sign. And if you haven't liked it yet, now is the time. Like with intention. Enjoy it as someone who recognizes that this calling is not just anyone, it's yours. And sign up, because the journey is just beginning. The next reveal will be even more intense. And whoever continues will remember what is to come. By now, you have already started to remember. You have already recognized marks, pains, gifts, and presences in your own history that may have never been explained clearly but were always there. However, there is something you need to listen carefully to. Something that not everyone is ready to face, but that you, if you've made it this far, need to know. There is a hidden risk on the Scorpio path, and this risk doesn't come from outside. It comes from within. When Scorpio moves away from its essence, its light becomes shadow. Your gift turns into poison. His power turns to destruction. And that's where the marked souls get lost the most. Because the same fire that transforms also burns. The same intensity that heals can also hurt. And the same silence that carries wisdom can hide wounds that fester inside. This sign was not made to be lost. When you forget who you are, you lose spiritual protection. When you run away from your own depth and try to live a shallow life, you begin to fade away from within, and the universe starts sending signals. Everything starts to go wrong. Intuition weakens. Sensitivity becomes instability. The vision turns to paranoia, and the pain that was once a portal turns into a prison. The Scorpio man who tries to be like others, who tries to ignore his sensitivity, who tries to erase his deepest impulses, begins to fall ill in silence. Anxiety, insomnia, emotional crises, creative blocks, accumulated anger, uncontrolled impulsiveness, difficulty trusting yourself. These are all symptoms of spiritual disconnection, because Scorpio needs alignment. It really needs it. It needs solitude, diving, ritual. You need constant reminder of your soul mission, and when you forget, your soul snakes. It's not punishment. It's code. It's part of the pact. Whoever carries this energy has spiritual responsibilities that cannot be neglected. You were not born to just survive. You were not sent to repeat patterns. Your soul was designed to open paths in the invisible, to cut energetic ties that imprison generations, to transmute emotional legacies that paralyze entire families. You are a breaking point in your lineage, and that's why his life was never light, and that's why the tests are constant. But when you turn your back on that and try to fit in, try to live as if you don't feel it, as if you don't see it, as if you don't know, your own energy starts to turn against you. Intuition, which was a guide, becomes noise. Emotions, which used to flow like healing water, turn into internal storms. The gift of perceiving others begins to turn into judgment, and that deep love you carried turns into control, obsession, jealousy, fear of abandonment. These are the Scorpio distortions, and they all arise from the same point: the escape from the essence, the attempt to disconnect from something that is bigger than you, but lives within you. So if you have felt that you are more explosive, more tired, more suspicious, more lonely, if you have been wondering why everything seems stuck, why people move away, why cycles don't close, maybe it's time to ask yourself, have I forgotten who I am? Because when you honor your spiritual truth, Scorpio life begins to align. The pain continues, yes, but they start to make sense. They begin to bear fruit. They begin to open paths. You feel guided again. Signs appear again. Intuition works again. Dreams speak to you again. Life returns to whispering truths that you recognize in your heart. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be perfect. Scorpio energy does not demand perfection. It requires presence, requires delivery. It requires awareness. And you know when you're on the wrong track. Your body warns you. Your soul feels. Your dreams become confused. The external world responds to you. What used to flow synchronously begins to get stuck. And no matter how much you try to force it, you won't. Because the universe knows you have a more serious deal with existence, and he won't let you forget for a long time. So be careful with shortcuts. Beware of the temptation to hide your pain behind masks. Beware of distractions that pretend to fill the void, but only sink it deeper. Be careful with shallow relationships, compulsive desires, emotional addictions that take you away from your axis. Disconnected Scorpios become hostage to their own intensity. He becomes a slave to passions that consume him. It becomes a shadow of itself. But the awakened Scorpio, this one is unstoppable, because it doesn't depend on approval. He doesn't need a stage. He doesn't seek validation. He walks with his feet firmly, in the invisible, guided by something that doesn't need to be explained, just followed. And perhaps this is one of the greatest spiritual tests of this sign, remembering that your greatest danger is yourself. The energy you carry is alive. It responds to your internal state. When you are clean, centered, at peace with your pain, this energy opens portals, protects, guides, heals. But when you lose yourself, fragment yourself, sabotage yourself, that same energy closes you, tests you, charges. You, Scorpio, is not to be trifled with. It's not about pretending. It is not to be postponed. It is to live with soul, with conscience, with ritual. So, if you feel like you're in a moment of disconnection, don't judge yourself. Don't punish yourself. Just stop, breathe, look inside, come back, return with humility, come back with delivery, come back with truth. You don't need to have all the answers now. You just need to remember that your life has a greater meaning, and that meaning begins to reveal itself when you maturely accept who you really are. And if this content touched you, if you felt that this part was like a mirror of your current phase, comment now below, "I'm returning to my essence." Write this sentence as a stamp, like a commitment, like a fresh start. Or if you prefer something more direct, "I don't forget who I am." Choose one of these phrases, or share how this message found you. Remember, each comment lights a spiritual beacon for other Scorpio souls who are also seeking this return. Like this video if it messed with something in there. And if you haven't signed up yet, do so now. What comes next could activate the most powerful part of your energy, and you'll want to be here when that happens. If you've come this far, it's because something inside you recognized this call. But there is something even more subtle, more mysterious, more personal that many Scorpios carry and few understand. The signs, signals that the universe sends, almost like whispers, almost like cipher codes delivered to those who know how to see beyond the surface. The Scorpio soul, connected with dimensions that most ignore, does not receive common answers. She is guided by symbols, and if you pay attention, you'll realize that they've always been there trying to talk to you. Notice the patterns that are repeated. Exact times you look at the clock, 11:11, 22:22, 03:33, numbers that appear out of nowhere but seem to carry a different vibration, sensations that cannot be explained, goosebumps out of nowhere, as if a presence passed by you in silence, a sudden emotion coming from nowhere, as if an old memory was activated. These phenomena are not random. They are called mystics. They are subtle messages that try to remind you of what your mind has forgotten, but your soul still carries. Scorpios have a heightened psychic sensitivity. Many feel before understanding. They sense presences, sense deaths, feel when someone is going to move away. They know when something is going to change, sometimes in dreams, other times with sensations in the body. There are reports of people of this sign who, since childhood, spoke to invisible friends, saw figures, or felt as if they were being observed. And it's not crazy, it's harmony. It is connection with subtle planes, with higher or deeper energy fields, which escape common perception. Have you ever felt a presence when sleeping? As if someone was in the room, even with the door locked? Have you ever woken up with a phrase clear in your mind, as if you had received a message in your sleep but didn't know who spoke it? Have you ever dreamed of people you've never seen in your life, but who, in some way, seemed familiar? Have you ever had dreams so intense that you woke up with your body shaking, crying, with your heart racing? This happens because Scorpio's dreams are not just reflections of the unconscious. They are portals, spaces where the soul travels, learns, heals, and receives instructions that the ego is not yet prepared to process. Some of these dreams are premonitory, others symbolic, and there are those that are true spiritual rituals. You wake up with the feeling that something has been cleaned, that some pain has been released, that a conversation has ended on another plane. And even though the rational mind tries to dismiss it, something in you knows that it was real, because it was. The Scorpio soul does not sleep. She dives, and during this dive, she reconnects with parts of herself that have been fragmented throughout her incarnations. It is in this space that your gifts are honed. May your guides approach, that your spiritual contracts are remembered. Sometimes these signs also come as physical sensations. You can be in a place and suddenly feel like the air has become heavy. Or take it, you may feel dizzy, chills, sudden heat in your hands, pressure in the back of your neck, vibration in your chest. These are vibrational codes. These are energetic adjustments happening. When you come into contact with something or someone that triggers a spiritual memory, the body reacts, because the body is the instrument of the soul. He is the temple where these revelations try to manifest themselves. Some Scorpios report that before a big change in their lives, they begin to see specific animals, such as scorpions, snakes, owls, eagles, or even black butterflies. And it's no coincidence. These animals are archetypal symbols of transformation, of death and rebirth, of the cycle that needs to be closed. They appear as messengers, as reminders that the old needs to die so that the new can have space. And when you ignore these signs, life takes care of repeating the lesson. until you are ready to listen. But the signs don't just serve as warnings, they are also confirmations. When you are aligned with your essence, you begin to notice synchronicities. Things flow. You think of someone and they appear. You want something, and you get a message about it. You feel a calling, and on the same day someone says exactly what you needed to hear. This is life responding to your vibration. It is your spiritual energy generating echoes in the invisible field. Scorpios who are awake experience this frequently. Because your energy is magnetic, and what you emit, you attract. But there is a delicate point here. You need to be present to notice it. If you are distracted, disconnected, trying to control everything with your mind, you will miss the signals. You'll think it was a coincidence. You will doubt. It will close. And little by little, this connection begins to fade. Dreams become confusing. The numbers stop appearing. Goosebumps become rare. And you start to feel an emptiness that you can't explain. This happens when the Scorpio soul stops listening to the calls. But it's never too late to go back. Because the signs don't give up on you. They just wait for you to be available to listen again. If at this moment in your life you have felt this calling, even without knowing what it means, if you feel that something is about to change, but you don't know what, if the coincidences are becoming too frequent, then trust, you are being guided. You may not understand it now, but it will all make sense. Keep paying attention. Write down your dreams. Notice the patterns. Feel your body. Notice the words that suddenly touch you. No one is. You're alone when you start to wake up. You just need to. Remember what it feels like to be open. And if you recognize these signs in your life, if you felt as if part of this text was describing exactly what happens to you, comment below. I receive signs from the invisible. Write this as a spiritual affirmation, a silent commitment to your sensitivity. Or if you prefer something more direct, comment, I feel when the universe speaks. Leave your experience. Talk about a dream that marked you, from a synchronicity that you recently experienced. Or just write the number that appears most to you. Remember, your words here are not just comments. They are vibrational confirmations. Enjoy this video if, at any point, you got goosebumps. If you felt something different. If you had a memory you didn't expect. And if you haven't signed up yet, sign up now. Because the next episodes will deepen your connection with all of this even further. And maybe, just maybe, it's in them that you'll find the answer you've been looking for a long time. If you felt at some point throughout this video that it wasn't just content, but a kind of memory, a reunion, an internal call that doesn't come from the mind, then understand, it wasn't by chance. None of this is random. What you felt is real. And now, in this moment, the energy that runs through every word spoken here transforms into a sacred space, an invisible field where thousands of Scorpio souls, or souls marked by the same vibration, gather silently. You are inside a portal, and this portal requires a gesture, a seal, a ritual, because there are times when just listening is no longer enough. It needs to be declared, confirm, to recognize. The awakening soul can no longer ignore what it carries. And you, if you have reached this point, have already been deeply touched by something that is beyond logical understanding. Maybe you remembered old pains. Maybe you felt your body reacting. Maybe he cried in silence. Maybe you felt that pressure in your chest that comes when a spiritual truth penetrates you completely. And that needs to be sealed. Not to please anyone, not to follow a rule, but because certain moments need to be marked energetically. They need to be recognized. Right now, the field around you is more sensitive, more receptive. Your soul is open. Your intuition is active. The energy is ready to be reorganized. And that only requires a gesture of delivery. No need for candles. No need for incense. You don't need a physical temple. Because the temple is you. Conscience is the altar. Your presence here is enough to start what needs to be activated. But you have to say yes. It is necessary to affirm that you heard, that you understood, that you accept your essence. So now take a deep breath. Close your eyes for a few seconds if you can. Feel what vibrates inside. Don't fight what appears. Let the truth emerge. What you are has always been there, hiding under masks that life forced you to wear, but none of them are stronger than your spiritual nature. No pain, no rejection, no loss was enough to erase what lives at the center of your being. And right now, that spark, is being rekindled. That is why now, with calm and presence, I invite you to participate in a silent but extremely powerful ritual. A ritual that does not require a loud voice but that vibrates in the astral like a summons. If what you have heard so far has touched the depths of your soul, then write below, in the comments, the phrase that resonates most with you. I accept my essence. Or if you feel more strength in the second expression, I carry this energy. Write truthfully, not just as a copied phrase, but as a spiritual seal, a confirmation to yourself, an invisible signature that declares to the universe, I remember who I am. Maybe when you write, you feel something different, a slight shiver, an inexplicable relief, an emotion that rises from the chest. Maybe a memory will come, maybe a name, perhaps a deep silence. It doesn't matter. Whatever comes, accept it. Because these are the responses that your soul sends when it realizes that finally you have stopped running away. When she understands that you are ready to look clearly at what once scared you, ready to accept the depth of your spirit, ready to courageously live your Scorpio nature, intense, mysterious, transformative, healing. This ritual we are doing together is not just symbolic. It activates real energetic currents. When you write that sentence, it reverberates. Other people, when reading it, feel the same call, and we created, without realizing it, a chain of souls that recognize each other. It's as if we say to each other, I see you, I know what you carry, you are not alone. And this, for Scorpios, is one of the most powerful cures there is, because no matter how strong you are, no matter how much you learn to walk alone, no matter how much you rebuild yourself in silence, deep down, you need to feel part of something bigger. You need to realize that your suffering is not solitary, that there is a network, a field, an invisible egregore that welcomes you and walks with you. This video is more than words. It is an activation, and each sentence written in the comments is a code that manifests itself. Therefore, do not underestimate this gesture. When you write, I accept my essence, you are doing more than typing. You are choosing. It's sealing. It's recognizing. And the universe responds to these types of decisions. Because whoever accepts himself energetically begins to be recognized by the invisible. Start receiving new instructions. Start attracting new dates. You begin to naturally move away from what does not vibrate at your frequency, and life begins to align in a way that previously seemed impossible. Do you notice the difference? Before, everything seemed like effort. Now everything starts to flow, because you stopped resisting what you are. Stop fighting your nature. He stopped hiding from his spirituality. He stopped pretending that he doesn't feel what he feels. He stopped denying the signs, and he started to allow it. And this simple allowing is what begins the greatest healing processes of your journey. So if you are still here with me, reading, feeling, vibrating at this frequency, if you feel like this message has spoken to you like no other before, write now. Leave this phrase as a spiritual milestone. Choose between, I accept my essence, or I carry this energy. And if you want to go further, share what you felt. Tell us in a few words the moment in your life when you moved away from yourself the most, or the most symbolic dream you've ever had, or the strongest memory that came back while watching this video. Your story here could be the mirror that another soul needs to awaken. Enjoy this video with intention. Not like an automatic click, but as a gesture of confirmation. I receive this activation, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is the time. Because from here on out, everything gets deeper, and the next revelations that we will open will only find those who are ready to sustain this energy. And you've already taken the first step. Now it's time to seal. You're still here, and that says it all. This already proves that there is something in you that can no longer live dormant, something that recognized each word, not as new, but as a confirmation of what you always knew, but perhaps never had the courage to say out loud. The Scorpio soul carries silent truths that do not fit into common conversations, into shallow bonds, into repeated days. And that's why you feel so out of place at times, because you were never made to fit. You were made to overflow. Overflowing truth, presence, silence, intensity, and transformation. You already understand that your existence is more than a biography. It's a mystical script. It is a spiritual path with multiple layers and ancient memories that are still being unlocked. And at that moment, at that exact moment when you take a deep breath Something inside you has already changed, and maybe you didn't even realize it. It may seem subtle, but the energies are already moving. Activation has already started, and all you need now is to allow this process to continue. Scorpio is pain that becomes healing. It's shadow that becomes light. It is a soul that transforms. But this transformation does not happen without confrontation. She demands delivery. It requires courage. It demands that you look within without looking away. And you have done this throughout every word you read or heard in this video. You have faced each layer, even without having all the answers. And this already puts you in another vibrational state, on another level of consciousness. Because whoever accepts seeing begins to awaken. And when you wake up, everything changes. Relationships change, dreams change. Cycles that have been repeating themselves for years are beginning to close. The people who used to drain you start to move away. And new connections, deeper, more aligned with your truth, begin to emerge. Because you stopped pretending, because you stopped hiding, because you finally started living from your center. And a Scorpio's center is not external. It is internal, invisible, sacred. It's like a silent temple inside the chest, where everything is felt before being understood. You are the guardian of an ancient mystery, and this mystery pulses in your presence. It manifests itself when you look someone in the eyes, when you shut up at the exact moment everyone screams, when you feel what no one has the courage to admit. This energy you carry is not common. It is rare. That's why it bothers those who live in superficiality. That's why you sometimes feel out of place. But the truth is, you are not lost. You are positioned at a specific point of consciousness, where only the initiated reach. And if you feel like this video was more than content, what? And he was a mirror, a reminder, a key. So understand, this is also part of the process. You were guided here for a reason, because your soul is ready for the next level, ready to sustain a new vibration, ready to release the weight that has already fulfilled its role, ready to activate a light that for a long time you kept hidden out of fear, out of guilt, out of protection. But that light now needs to be shared. It needs to be assumed. Maybe you're at a time in your life where everything seems confusing, or maybe it's silent, like something big is about to happen but you don't know what it is yet. This is a symptom of spiritual transition. This is a sign that your field is reorganizing, that your pact is being remembered, that your path is being prepared. And if you continue walking with awareness, you will notice the signs multiplying, the dreams intensifying, meetings becoming more meaningful, and its purpose increasingly clear. But before that, it is necessary to seal what was experienced here. It is necessary to leave a spiritual mark in this space. And that brand can start now. If you felt this calling, if something inside you was touched deeply, then comment below, "I carry this energy." Write with intention. Write as someone who knows that these words are not metaphors. They are memory. Write as someone who recognizes what is, like someone who accepts what has always been. And if you want to go further, share in the comments a mystical experience you had, a dream that marked you, a moment when you felt like something invisible was protecting you. Every comment here is like a spiritual offering, a candle lit in the invisible field, a declaration of presence. And this strengthens the collective energy we are building, a community of conscious, awakened souls connected with the invisible. And you are part of it, so don't let it pass you by. Enjoy this video with presence. Like it as if to say to the universe, "I recognize myself." Share with someone who needs to remember their own essence. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, now is the time. Because in the next video, I will reveal the secret that Pisces tries to hide from the entire world. And you will understand why these two signs, Scorpio and Pisces, are hidden pieces on the same spiritual board. But before that, write, mark your energetic name in this space, and feel what happens next. If you've made it this far, that already says a lot about your soul. It means you listened with your heart, felt with your spirit, and allowed each word to touch what was dormant within you. Now, I want to ask you 3 simple but very powerful things. First, subscribe to the channel now. If this video brought you clarity, strength, or simply confirmed something you already felt, know that there is still much more to come. And I want to walk with you on this journey. Registration is your symbolic step to continue receiving the spiritual callings that we will bring. Second, Comment below right now. The sentence, I went to the end because I felt the truth. This phrase is a seal. It is a sign to the universe that you are part of the awakened community. When you comment, you not only affirm yourself, you activate this space as a vibrational field of conscious souls, and you strengthen the bond between everyone who is walking this same journey. Third, leave your like, not just out of politeness, but as an energetic gesture. It's like saying, I receive, I acknowledge, I want more of this connection. And finally, don't leave now. The next video is already appearing on the screen, here on the left side. It is the continuation of this spiritual journey. Click there and follow me, because what we're going to reveal next will move even deeper with everything you believe about mission, soul, and destiny. Are you ready to see what Pisces hides? So see you there.